Hey everyone, and welcome to Shopify's Winter 26 edition. Harley here. It is very, very fun to be back with all of you. I think the last time we connected was, frankly, about a week ago when we were wrapping up BFCM. For those of you that were paying attention, BFCM here was incredible. I think across the platform, we saw something like $14.6 billion across all our merchants in that 4-day period, but 81 million shoppers. And the coolest stat, I think, is that about 16,000 merchants had their very first sale, which frankly is incredible. But today we're here for a Winter 26 edition drop day. This one is really, really big. As hopefully you all have seen, we do these editions about twice a year. And it's our way of showing all of you, merchants, partners, and the entire Shopify community, all the incredible stuff that we are building. I was told a couple days ago we were probably going to ship around 150 product releases. It looks like we're actually going to be shipping more than 200, which is the most Shopify thing ever, I think. But we're really, really excited about this one.
Truly over-deliver, right, Harley?
Definitely over-delivered. And we wanted to do this sort of live drop type thing here where we can unpack some of the big updates together in real time. So let's do that. I have Vanessa, Carl, and of course, Toby joining us today. Let's go, team. V, do you want to pull up the edition site and get going?
It is my absolute pleasure to be the one to pull up the site. Okay.
You have a power. You are going to be the power of the scroll wheel.
Okay. So the Renaissance edition. This is one of the most stacked editions that I have ever been a part of in my almost decade here. And it was wrapped up in the most beautiful way in this incredible site. We're going to go through it live together. I don't know how much Harley, Toby, Carl and I have been deep in this, but we are going to go and discover all the nooks and crannies of this amazing site together.
Okay, so first things first, let's talk about the theme. We've had boring, we've had foundations, we've had unified, and we've had horizon. Now we have the Renaissance edition. I love the sound of it. Tell us how you landed on that.
We went through a lot of names, actually. Carl and I, we were debating the obvious edition. It was, you guys all remember that period. There was a lot of pent-up AI launches in this one edition. We had really waited for a moment in time when our AI over-delivered, and that was really important. I remember people telling me, Vanessa, when are we going to be loud about Sidekick? Let's be louder about how good it is. And to be honest, it was really good, but our vision for Sidekick was so far in the future and what we wanted it to do. And so we wanted to wait until we hit this inflection point now. And so you're going to see some of the most incredible launches for Sidekick, which we have worked on through 2025. It hasn't just been a last 6 months thing. This has been an investment over the last couple of years. And so this is kind of how Renaissance came.
To zoom out even more, right? Like the Renaissance era was the meeting of art and science, and where both of those two things furthered each other. And that's really what we feel is like we're entering into a new Renaissance era of technology and creativity, where we're harnessing the power of AI and putting it into the hands of all of the merchants on the Shopify platform so that they can supercharge incredible businesses, the artistic kind of side of commerce that they're driving forward. And so we couldn't think of a better name to kind of represent this meeting of things happening right now.
I love that. So let's get into it. Let's start with Sidekick, which really feels kind of like our first kind of hero.
Let's go. Look at this.
It will come as a surprise to no one that I'm obsessed with Sidekick. You've seen me talk about it a lot on social media, but just generally, like this idea of having an on-platform intelligent assistant. Some people have called it kind of their AI co-founder. And I think we have like 20 updates to Sidekick in this edition, which is crazy. So let's get right into it. Do you want to start with Sidekick Pulse?
Before we get into it, so we know Sidekick is ready because we had a technical glitch recently. We had to actually turn it off for a moment because it was for various reasons that I don't need to get into. But it was gone off with Shopify admin for 23 minutes, and
not even that long.
People were saying my co-founder didn't show up. People were saying like there's an entire meme subculture of like employee of a month pictures of people putting Sidekick in there, and someone wrote an luckily premature obituary. So we know it's connecting with everyone. People are using it every day, and so it's really coming into its own. However, you have seen nothing yet. We've been working on like for years on some of the things we are just about to show you. So let's get right into it.
Yes. Okay, so let's talk about the first thing. This is probably my favorite feature of Sidekick, but to be honest, it's probably one of my favorites of the entire edition, which is Sidekick Pulse. I think one of the things that is incredible is a lot of people find value talking directly to Sidekick and having conversations. And now Sidekick is thinking on your behalf with all of the smarts that it has around knowing your store, understanding all of your data, understanding economic trends, all of Shopify's knowledge of commerce as well. And we package it and deliver insights at the right time. This is insane. And I actually have a couple pulses that I'm going to read because I think that this is like one of the fun things about this is that actually playing with it for staff stores. There's a lot of Shopify folk who actually have businesses and real ones. And so one of them is Andrew McNamara, who is one of the director of engineers here at Shopify, and he works directly on Sidekick. And so I did a pulse for him, a pulse poll last night. And this is what Sidekick said. Said, reactivate 55 one-time buyers with a personalized win-back campaign, Andrew. 55 customers made one purchase and never returned, leaving your repeat customer rate at just 10%. Typically, we see 20 to 30% repeat rates, and maple syrup is a consumable, and therefore customers should naturally reorder your product 2 to 3 months every time. And yet some of your buyers haven't been back. One customer made a reorder made a reorder of 5 purchases, proving that you can have a product that has repeat purchases. Let's launch a personalized win-back email to these 55 one-time customers, offering a 15% discount. And then Sidekick went and drafted the discount and email for him, which is like, that insight is insane for your platform to come and nudge you about.
So this is like a little, it's a little galaxy brain sitting there toiling away at night, just like going through, sifting through the data, like updating, industry benchmarks and just like working through everything to figure out if it can just like come up with something. And we've seen incredible examples of this. This is a great one. I've read through so many of them now. It's really, really staggering how good some of these pulses are when they're discovered by the system.
And I really think this is a larger shift in how software is built, right? Like until this point, software has been entirely reactive. You come into a software and you absolutely need to instruct it. You need to have all of the ideas and tell it what to do. And from that point, it starts to do smart things. Shopify is now becoming proactive. Mm-hmm. It is sort of foreseeing the things that are right for you, proposing them to you, and then going off and doing them, actually executing them on your behalf. And I think this is a completely different software paradigm that we're entering into.
Totally.
All right, let's keep going.
Let's keep going. I mean, what I love about Pulse, I will say, is that I think entrepreneurship generally, especially for those that are just getting started, can feel lonely sometimes. I think what founders want is someone to think about or obsess over their business as much as they do. And I think now they have it. So it's incredible. Do you want to talk about the app gen from Sidekick, V?
Yeah. Toby, why don't you take this one off? Because I know that this has been a personal favorite of yours.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, we should say, so the additions page, again, we make the additions page. It's a love letter to the internet. We are a company of and by the open web. And so we celebrate the open web and its latest capabilities here. We put this together. It is live. You can go visit it at shopify.com/editions. You find the Renaissance edition there. So please do that. But you can also then immediately tap back because we're also going through it. So this is what we're doing. All right. So app generation. Look, you've heard about vibe coding. You've heard about like these kind of things. How do you use it? Well, vibe coding and all of its excitement on like really, really nerdy places of the internet, such as my Twitter feed, basically the engineers celebrating that holy crap, we trained capabilities into these models that exist that are just like phenomenal. And like we who can invoke and context engineer and deal with terminal windows that look scary and hackery, can pull a lot of value out of it. But like what Shopify's mission is galvanize all of the latest technology, everything that's just became possible, maybe even like just marginally tipped over the point where anyone can pull value out of it, and grab it and get it to all the entrepreneurs, for millions of people building Shopify stores as quickly as possible. That is what we're doing here. So in one of Sidekick's capabilities now, this is a new start, is that if you're asking it to do a thing that it can't do, but it's the kind of thing that a simple application could do, it will just simply write this application for you now. And it's like absolute craziness when you see it happen in front of you. We left it as nerdy as it sounds because we feel like we need to actually tell you what is going on, because otherwise this would just be like a very long, like a spinner. But like we've already seen incredible examples. People are getting like crazy weirdly formatted documents from their suppliers that no one's ever heard of. And I've been in this industry for 21 years and I've seen the craziest formats, trust me. And then going through a manual process of turning those into updates to their shop. Well, paste it in, tell Sidekick that you're gonna get one of those every week and just do your best with it. And it will make a little app and you can put it in the sidebar afterwards. You just keep it around. It's there for you, it was bespoke and created, and it's starting to work, and that's super exciting.
I love that.
I think this also changes everyone's relationship with software pretty dramatically. And like this has been going on like writ large for all, I think especially developers with vibe coding. And I know a lot of PMs now and UXers are getting into vibe coding. This is our version of taking that and then giving it to merchants, right? And so like, yeah, these are apps that you can install. You can come back to it, create a custom workflow for your merchandiser, your fulfillment workflow, whatever that may be. Businesses are as varied as humans are unique. And so this really speaks to that. And then you can use that, your whole team can use that app over and over and over again. I also love how it takes everything that we've built in the developer platform over the last 20 years. And then because of AI has offered this capability, which is just such a beautiful thing to see come together. So yeah, this is a really cool one. Like even just some of these examples, these are real merchants that we had spoken to in the development of this. And they're like, oh, this app would be so useful for me. So like, go explore it, go try it. This is rolling out today into admin, into Sidekick. So can't wait to see what you build with this.
Okay, we got a lot to talk about here, so let's keep going. So we've got App Gen to create bespoke tools. We also have Flow to create bespoke automations. So for those that don't know, that are watching, can you explain a bit about this Flow and maybe just do a quick briefing on Flow, but also the Flow automations in particular?
Yeah, Flow has been a tool that a lot of merchants have used. It helps you customize the actual logic of your site beyond just the storefront. So a lot of people will use it for whether it's anything from like a customer tagging or marking inventory for a particular use case or gifting. So there's a variety of use cases that people use Flow for that has been around for a long time. Sidekick is now able to generate flows on your behalf. And when we start to think about all the skills that Sidekick can put together, this is yet another thing that now Sidekick can be like, okay, not only did I create that email campaign for you, created a discount that put in that email campaign, I've also created a flow to make sure that anyone who uses that discount gets marked into a particular customer segment. Like this just allows Sidekick a little bit more of the interconnected glue between resources, because that's what Flow naturally does. So this is a really cool skill that I think people will really love. So generate flows with words.
Let's talk quickly about theme edits. Now we're getting into some of the more creative stuff Sidekick can do. Can you talk a bit of customizing themes?
Yeah, let's look at this. Like this is like one of the flexes on the site, right? So everyone's been talking to us about when is Sidekick going to be in themes more often, right? We already launched themed app block and section generation mid-year, and we saw some super creative stuff come out of that. This is now saying, okay, now with an existing section or block, I can now use words and say, hey, I want to change. I want to make a button rounder. I want to center the text. You can use words now to edit your site, edit sections that exist already. You don't need to create new ones. And so this is actually one of those things that you would expect of the platform, but when done really, really well, it is actually really magical. So this is right inside the online store editor. You can play with it. Sidekick is now there. Sidekick isn't just in a little box anymore on the side. Sidekick is all around the admin.
Yeah, and you will see this happen more and more as like the direction we are going here is to just like Sidekick is everywhere, and it's always on the side, but usually has an outpost increasingly wherever it's valuable. We observe the way people are already using Sidekick, and we're constantly finding ways of bringing it into more places where we find the high value flows. So it's very cool, very exciting.
Or maybe,
by the way, we have 200 something things. And
Yeah,
we
we got to keep going here.
This one is worth it though. Let's pause here for a second. Skills is one of those things that Sidekick has garnered such a following, which has been one of the funnest things. And entrepreneurship, like everyone says, is kind of lonely. So one of the fun things we did was we created skills, and you can share skills. This is already out there now. These are actually real skills that we have seen people use. Go use them. These are actually live tickers that we'll start to see peak over probably today, tomorrow. But skills allow you to essentially take a really cool Sidekick prompt and share it so that other people can use it, whether it's in your team or whether it's out in the community. So this has been a really fun new approach to entrepreneurship and sharing knowledge.
I love that. I think this is a really cool new thing we're doing here. I really like skills. Okay, let's talk about what I think is one of the hottest topics probably in the room right now, which is agentic commerce. I know how excited everyone is about the possibilities here. We are looking, I think, at the next frontier of commerce coming to life in real time. I know that every brand on Shopify, anyone watching, is probably thinking about how they're going to show up in AI chats, whether it's ChatGPT or any of the others. Maybe talk a bit about Shopify's role here on behalf of brands and how kind of this agentic thing happens.
Yeah, I think the answer here is like ideally you have to not think about it. This is our job. We like you are bringing your business to Shopify. We hope it's playing an enormously important role for you, and you get a lot of value out of it. The role we want to always, and since day one, wanted to audition for is being your favorite and hopefully most important piece of software which represents your business as well as it can. Through Shopify, you manage how your go-to-market, so your global campaigns, your international expansion, and also how you go into the channels. We are in the total Cambion explosion here of new surfaces. There's you are going to need little storefront outposts in a lot of agentic processes. And we talked about ChatGPT, of course, is the obvious one. But like what the AI age also is going to create is like hopefully there's going to be many new very, very important large environment channels, but also millions of small ones that are specific. Some of them are fantastic for your particular industry, and many which we can't even imagine yet. So we are building all the tooling to make it so that we can represent your brand the way you configured to us, the way you told us you need to be represented with your with all your configuration and your go-to-market decision intact, and make little outposts, and we'll be able to sell them, of course, through ChatGPT. So you will be fully agentic by just using Shopify. This is what agentic storefronts are for.
Yeah, I think there's something that's happening in the industry right now where we have this new tool in our tool belt. And I have seen so many creative new shopping experiences come out over the last little while. This is us saying we are committed and we're going to give you the tools to make sure that you are all there in this next gold rush of creativity. I think that's like a really exciting thing about being in commerce right now, is this next year will prove to be quite different, I think, than the last 5 years.
I love it. Cool. All right, let's keep moving. Let's talk about the online section now. We've got some major newness here. We've been teasing this, I think, for quite some time here, but I know that merchants are eager about this one. V, do you want to talk about Rollouts, what that is?
Yeah, let's talk about Rollouts. Also, big appreciation for this guy. I love him. I love that he's painting an online store. Okay, so let's talk about Rollouts. A lot of folks who have been on Shopify for a long time know, hey, Shopify, I have a drop coming at midnight. I want to update my site. I want the product and merchandising to be published. I want a discount code to be published. How do I do that in a concerted, coordinated manner that doesn't breed a ton of heartburn for my team? This is the answer to that. So instead of just saying, okay, we're going to do scheduling, in typical Shopify fashion, we went further and we said, okay, we're going to create something called a rollout in Shopify. First, we're going to start with rollouts inside of online stores, so you can roll out changes. We know that this is often the place that people want to do a lot of changes often and schedule it, but it will roll out to many other resources across Shopify. So products, collections, discounts, you can coordinate all of that to be dropped at a single time together. And then we decided, what else can we do with rollouts? We can also extend it so that you can control the amount of traffic that goes to a particular rollout. Oh, what does that look like? That looks a lot like A/B testing and experiments. And so not only does rollouts allow you to coordinate and roll something out with less anxiety, knowing that the platform is going to roll something out at 12:01, but you can also then start to control the traffic split and start to test which versions of your site and which versions of all of these resources are performing better. And then you can easily merge it or decide, okay, that was a cool experiment. I learned, I don't want to merge it back. This
Something
is
that's
very
really cool, I think, is that, we're looking at each of the 200 plus features that we've launched one at a time, but they all, of course, build off of each other. And I think it's, calling out here that the stores we see here running through an A/B test is the store that you edited just a few sections up on the page, right? And so we're putting the power into the hands of the merchant to edit their site, create a new variation using Sidekick, and then test that against the current structure and the current page that they have live. These are all things that are building off of each other.
And just a little Easter egg on just how much time and attention goes into this site. You notice we updated the site above. That site is now here live. So like even just the thought and detail into each part of how we explain this concept has all been here. But yes, absolutely, the features tie into each other.
Yeah, it's so easy to just kind of almost scroll past this, but the rollout thing is like, guys, like this is it's pretty insane. So I know this sounds like such a basic feature, but think about it here. We showed you Pulse. Pulse will tell you, hey, there's a thing that could be done better. Now you have the AI features in the editor, which you make changes, and then instead of just flipping it live to think that let's go, you create a rollout where you say, hey, I think this version's better. You figure out if that's true. So now it's and in our rollout system, you can say what happens after the experiment. Once you have statistical confidence, just set it live. So it's it massively reduces the amount of intestinal fortitude you need to put any kind of change directly in production, of course. And this is specifically important because of all these agentic flows, right? We're building this so that increasingly tests can be run with high conviction that are suggested by AIs, and you can measure. The craziest thing that we have is then exactly that thing we are scrolling to. So this is insanity.
So please, someone explain SimJim. I think it's the best name ever.
I think we need to spend a little bit of time on the name specifically.
Yeah, SimJim is a great name. How did we get there, and what does it do?
Okay, who's going to take this one? Who's going to take this one? Everyone's been Joseph. Okay, I'm going to take this one.
Vanessa, you got it.
Okay, SimJim. I actually had to explain it a couple of times this week to some folks who weren't familiar with it. Think about playing a sport. A gym is where you go to work out so you can do well at that sport when you go on the playing field. That is what this is. Okay. And when we say simulator, it's because we know a lot of folks, we just talked about launching with confidence in the one above about A/B testing and, rollouts and launching with confidence using rollouts. But SimJim allows you to launch with confidence when you don't quite have potentially the traffic, or you don't really want to test with real humans, real consumers. We said, okay, what are we going to do for those people? Because we are the entrepreneurship company. We help everybody grow. And a lot of those people don't have traffic yet. We took all of our knowledge across the decades of building online stores, and we built AI shoppers that represent what we see real humans do.
And then we said, that. So the craziest thing about it is that we are actually what we do is we are creating simulated versions of the people that are ones that are usually browsing on your particular store. Basically, with this system, we can take your rollouts and simulate them how to the best knowledge of AI based on the personas of people who are visiting you, actually clicking around on the store, on the design changes, and looking at whatever metrics you're going for, and predict the future. And this is delivering a thing that is just kind of blowing our minds, because we found it to be extremely accurate for something that is for what it is. And again, an A/B test is something that like is super good when you're when I don't know, when you're Fashion Nova, you can run A/B tests in a couple of minutes given the traffic you have. If you are starting, it's going to take sometimes, for real statistical relevance on a small detail chain, months, right? No, it doesn't. No, you can just go and simulate it, and that is a game changer. We're not aware of anyone having done this or having used AI in this way. It's an incredible breakthrough from our teams and in our machine learning labs. The term is sufficiently nerdy. Gyms are the environments that reinforcement learning happens in, and
Yeah, that's the nerdy version of the.
That is the
Is it just
weirdest
me
way to
that want to
describe a
like
gym.
play like Shopify the video game? Like I imagine like a kind of Sim City where you're just like you're only living in the simulation all the time.
Yeah, it's
Also, shout out to SimCity.
Yeah.
It's sort of presented here as a feature from like this comes directly out of Shopify Labs. This is like, again, state of the art stuff. It is ludicrously expensive to run. We will figure out how to make this all work, but like it's way too valuable to not get in the hands of people right now.
Yeah, we were
Especially because
too
it-
excited to hold this
Yeah.
back.
This feels like it levels the playing field also, like for merchants that don't have these massive analytics teams or these massive A/B testing
Yeah.
teams, right? This is where like smaller merchants can operate at the same type of velocity and decision making prowess as the biggest companies on the planet.
This is
Well,
our
what-
mission.
What I also love about this feature is we didn't go just like, okay, I just want to collect data, what converts. We know that a lot of brands want to test, okay, I want to test if my sustainability concept is coming through to the person on the site right now, right? So you can actually set a goal for your customers. It's almost like a focus group, and they will give you actual opinionated feedback, not just understanding their behavior, which is also very, very powerful. So yeah, it's
Love it.
amazing.
I
Okay.
really love this. Okay, so I also, as you know, all of us live and breathe our mission, which is to make entrepreneurship more common, more accessible. And I think you can really see just in the last, 30 minutes here of how we think AI is going to shape this and create this. I don't know, the greatest lever for business creation, I think, frankly, in our lifetime. But there's a lot to keep up with, which brings us to Tinker. Toby, do you want to talk a bit about what we're trying to solve for entrepreneurs with Tinker?
Yeah, so this is Tinker is like we're pre-announcing. Like, watch a video when you get a chance, and this will come soon. This is a really, really, really cool application. Basically, we found that I've emphasized within Shopify, people to reflexively reach for AI basically for any task that they find. And so like what we have found is there's a particular sort of joyful exploration of that uses AI not as like this sort of nebulous concept that completes words, but actually just like leans into AI usage for almost like sometimes the most random small bits. Like maybe people on social media see like isometric weather report pictures coming along, and like because that's sort of what the sort of nerdy cutting edge does. Tinker is a thing that you can it's almost like a feed of AI delightful tools that you can use to kind of like, just if you have an idea of any kind of project, any ambition, or like really any of these kind of things, you can go to Tinker and just play with stuff around your idea to flesh it out. Like something that turns your ideas into artifacts of like an image, a text, a business plan, whatever, like it is, to that just nudges you a step forward. Why is Shopify building this? Because we do think that in some small percentage, these kind of delightful investigations, these sort of joyful explorations, lead to product ideas and people wanting to build something or create something. And then how do you do that? Like, how do you get the product created that you just designed? How can a figurine be made that you are so delighted by? Or how do you actually put the company together? What is the next steps and what's the template? And how could do all the pieces and all the little tools that I've created along the way somehow make it now easier for me to flesh out this idea? We've seen incredible like little emergent things here with like like you're building towards like the context engineering almost becomes automatic because you're building up you're collecting these pieces that speak to you. You're seeing new ideas, and people are creating remixing little mini apps that allow you to generate a video, a product video, but it's not commerce specifically, and it just happens that lots of what people create is commerce, and so it's all fitting together into the mission. That Shopify just wants to see entrepreneurship become more common, and definitely we love the aspect of Shopify that people can go and express themselves in a way that is like unencumbered by their lack of path dependent lack of skills as a designer or so. Like the most wonderful thing about Shopify is it's usually big enough project that you can put a team together where everyone has the skills. And the wonderful thing about AI is now often the AI can actually do a passable job, even if you can't have a designer co-founder for your venture. And we want to Tinker is sort of our exploration of how deep and far can we go, and I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I love about this is when you're building something new, ideas come like in a foggy forest, right? And as you walk through the foggy forest, the shadows become clearer and clearer. The hard part is actually walking through that foggy forest. This kind of helps you bring into fruition. I go, do you mean this? Do you mean this? Pulling your intuition out into something real that you can then iterate on, which I think is like half the battle for people generating ideas and crystallizing it into something new.
I will just say one thing on the you guys nailed it. Like the job is to make entrepreneurship more common. Last time I recall Shopify announcing a small little utility app like this to a little bit of a different audience. I think it was in 2020. It was called Shop. And I think my point here is just that like big great things start like kind of small nifty tools. And I really feel like that like Tinker is in that category. Like it's opening up a category that hasn't quite yet been defined yet, and that we're kind of laying ground for here.
Yeah, I that's my hope. I believe the future is best predicted by what highly creative and smart people do on their weekends, and this is a product wrapped around exactly those activities, and so I can't wait to get it in everyone's hand.
I love it. And also, please check out the video. Rusa does a great job explaining it on the video. So make sure you take a look at that. Let's keep moving along. Up next is there's some retail updates here.
I'm here for the Renaissance.
Can I just say that this
skateboard shop, I have to say,
we got to get some of these made.
They're beautiful.
Yes. So one thing I'd like to share is that for every edition, we make up a make-believe Shopify brand. I don't know if everyone knows this, but it's part of every edition. We invent a new brand that goes in to be an example in each of the different product stories that we share. For this edition, it was a skate brand called Muse. We're finding ourselves in the Muse Renaissance store. And I find that just this backdrop and this retail section is, of all of the sections,
it's spectacular. I mean, I want to go to the store. I want to buy this. I want to buy these products.
Yeah, look at all the skateboards in the background. Okay, but looking at retail, we're getting distracted by the beauty of the site.
So let's unpack a little bit what we're talking about here. Particularly, maybe start with the point of sale hub, POS hub, because I think that is something that a lot of people that are watching right now have physical stores or thinking about opening up physical stores. Many of them are already using Shopify point of sale. Talk a bit about like unpacking what the hub is about.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of on the screen here. So one of the things that we noticed with point of sale is there's a lot of importance around making sure that you're checking customers out reliably and quickly. That is a big focus of POS in 2025 and into 2026. You're starting to see the first drips of that here with the hub. Peripherals and peripheral management has been something that we want to make sure is rock solid at all times. And we introduced this concept of the hub, so enter the hub, where you now can choose between wired and wireless peripherals. So if you decide I want to have a wired scanner, I can plug it right in, and your connectivity to your point of sale, your Shopify point of sale, is instant. And this is not just a normal hub, kind of like what I said here. This is a mini computer, right? And I think that that's not obvious because it's such a beautifully simple looking device, but it is in fact actively looking at the connections and the peripherals and making sure that even if your point of sale goes to sleep, that these peripherals are ready to check someone out the moment you come back to your point of sale. So I think that this is a pretty magical start to a refocus and a reimagining of point of sale as a whole. You will see lots of updates in 2026 around making sure that you can check people out reliably and fast in point of sale. This is very important to us. So this is the start of something much bigger.
There's so much intelligence and technology built into this small package of hardware. Like it's an MFI, which is made for iPad. Like it will make every hardware device, every peripheral just immediately work. Like we can't really like state enough how powerful this is for retail environment.
Just
And because
it's going to be a mess. Like just get one of those. It'll make everything just
get it.
super
Totally.
solid. We're not gonna make any money off this. We just like if this needed to exist to make the whole iPad and tablet based retail thing just like as rock solid as it ought to be. Enough is enough with all these desyncs and wireless ancient protocols. Too many legacy components that people still want to use for their own processes. This just just solve. Shopify has product principle of solving every problem at the right layer of abstraction, which I know sounds really nerdy, but it translates into, well, sometimes you have to build hardware then. That's the only way to deal with it. So this is what we're doing.
Yep, absolutely.
How are we doing on time? We should do a couple more, I think, right?
Let's keep rolling.
Good
I mean,
job.
we're like halfway through. We got some still big ones. This is
actually, I'm
stacked
gonna
edition.
put on my
halfway through.
Renaissance hat for this next one.
Oh, Carl, you're the only one missing now.
Oh.
I didn't want to mess up my hair. But see, okay, now we're talking.
Okay, now
we-
the fun is
Yeah.
done.
Well, I was waiting for a certain Easter egg.
This next one is
Vanessa was a
major.
core influencer. I got my grubby hands on this, and then the late majority also joins in.
Yes, sir. We've
Like,
crossed the
Michael.
chasm. That's exactly right. Here.
Carl, you are late majority. That's
Yeah,
what
the
it's
late
saying.
majority.
Okay, back to it. This is major. I think it's a great example of how merchants can leverage Shopify scale, I think, to achieve just more as a merchant community on Shopify. Merchants will definitely know this pain point really, really well, but we all work so hard to get traffic to our stores, to our sites. And sometimes a customer actually bounces because they couldn't find a complementary product add to their cart. And enter Product Network. What do you tell us about this? How does Product Network help merchants with conversion? What is this all about?
Yeah, Product Network is a stealthily amazing feature for conversion, mainly because for large retailers, they have always known if you have more products, the chances of a customer checking out is higher. Purely out of the idea that if I'm looking for, let's say, a homewares like a chair, I'm also maybe looking for a table because I'm a customer shopping for my home office. But how do you get a really full-fledged merchandising catalog and keep it up to date? That has been something that takes a lot of time and effort. Product Network solves that for you. So with just a click, you access the 3 million merchants on Shopify, or the millions of merchants on Shopify. And then you can basically tap in and say, hey, I'm a homewares store. I make chairs. I don't really make or want to source tables. Shopify, help me fill that category, right? And I'm in control. I can say, I don't really love this brand, or I want specifically this category, and then automatically my online store will start to fill in the points that I want, whether it's empty search results, whether it's on collections, starts to fill with tables in my scenario. And the chances now of my customer not just finding my chairs, but also finding my chairs and these tables and making one nice big purchase for their home office increases. So this is a very sneaky, interesting feature that kind of connects all of our merchants together in a way that we haven't really done before.
Yeah, it's like,
And I think it's so
hard
important
to
to-
overstate how this is like we integrated this at a level that it's like these products, even though they come from the larger Shopify collective, are running through the normal APIs, Liquid, and all these things. We've integrated this deep, and I don't know if you caught it, like the checkout ended up like purchasing from multiple stores in this one go. So this is this is collaborative entrepreneurship. It's collaborative, it's just like a complete like completely new beginning for the platform, and of course totally opt-in. We will build like a lot of our AI capabilities are at play here to figure out how to perfectly merchandise this. You like the merchants are always in control of their own stores. Any of this only happens for areas where you have said, I would like this to be fleshed out by the greater Shopify network, or here's the types of products that we would like to that I would like to see here. I only want products from other places show up past like the third row of my search results or something like this. We're going to ship all sorts of things depending on what we are going to hear, but what people would how people are thinking about it, and it's, I think, super exciting because yeah, like finding great, like I sold snowboards at some point. I sold bindings. I did not stock clothing, and
You should have
only-
sourced these hats. If
yeah,
you,
I should have had these hats. I should have definitely had a collection where I said I would be perfectly happy with hats of any color to be added to people browsing, and it's very exciting.
Yeah, and it flows naturally into Collective. So then you can get that data of like, oh, tables are actually something people want. Okay, maybe I'll start making tables. Maybe I'll talk to some merchants about, wholesaling together on Collective. I think this is like such a natural, gradual path of building out your catalog, which is amazing. So go check it out.
Yep. The Shopify Product Network. I love it.
Product Network.
Yeah, it's amazing. All right, maybe we'll do, just because we're running out of time here, maybe let's switch to developers. We've talked a lot about agentic commerce.
Before we scroll past
Oh,
here,
we're not going over this
cover the
Easter
beanie.
egg.
Please cover the
Yeah,
beanie.
people are like, what is, so this is the Renaissance person. We have this hat. Carl took it off because he's
too
stylish for us.
Yeah, he's too cool.
I want to just like experience it when
so
everyone else.
No,
gets to.
I'm watching on X right now. There are people like it's amazing. People are posting their
they have it
buying the hats. Yeah.
Oh, did they buy it? They're so fast. So click into this, get a beanie. My favorite detail is 1452, the year that Leonardo da Vinci was born.
See,
we are
small things like this that make Shopify. Like the actual total is in Roman numerals.
Yeah,
like,
I need Roman numerals for
no reason, just because obviously because it should be like
the main launch of editions.
It should be like that.
Now featuring Roman numerals.
I'll send that
for
pull request to my
checkout
team. Let's see if I get it merged.
This is Taylor Swift
it's more
level.
To do the math in your head though of like how much actually is this? It's fantastic.
It's amazing. Yes, so many good Easter eggs.
It's also a great reminder that every time we build editions on Shopify. Like we use editions as a wonderful opportunity for us to actually dog food the platform. This is a great example of that, bringing the commerce capabilities to life on the actual.
This is a hydrogen
how
site.
motivating that is to dialing our content features in.
Oh yes, yes. We used environment variables. Right.
As you can see, we're building a lot of stuff, but we're also the fun quotient here is pretty ridiculously high.
How fun is this website? I'm still stunned. It is incredible to scroll through this.
Okay, let's do a few others. We talked about Agentic earlier for merchants, but let's talk about developers. What's possible to build now in minutes is actually really exciting. Do you want to talk about DevDash and kind of the catalog API and what we're doing there a little bit?
Yes, let's talk about DevDash. This is one of those features that people have been asking us for, especially since we announced the catalog. I think when we announced the catalog earlier this year, I have not gotten as much interest from our partner community about how to get access to this than I have with this one feature. So the catalog, for those who didn't tune in last time, the catalog is essentially the catalog of Shopify. And so when you're building for Shopify in the past, it was shop by shop by shop. We've always been a platform that supported folks connecting into shops, but they were individual shops one by one. For the first time, the catalog really brings together all of Shopify's products in one place for developers building new experiences. And when we talked about it, people loved it. Now it's finally available in the DevDash. So this is a major update for those who are especially building in this new golden creative gold rush of building new consumer experiences. We want to be there first. So if you're building something really cool, come talk. Now you can actually go and try it in DevDash, in Partners Dashboard. And if you're building, once you get to a point where you're actually building production level, please talk to us, because then we can talk about making sure you have the right limits. But this is now available. This is probably one of the biggest changes there.
Our vision here is that the global catalog is just going to become the predominant I would like to build something commerce that is not like an online store. I want to build a commerce experience or something. I need products. I'm like, is it in virtual reality, in agentic environments, and like you just tell us what type of products would be helpful to receive. You are going to get the simplest APIs from us, and in 100, 200 milliseconds, it will give you the perfect set of products by whatever parameters you give us. And it's a major effort for a company. We want to make it so simple to build incredibly good experiences that are commerce related, because so often that's where the real fun is in our minds anyway. We might be a bit biased on this, but like, what even is a web that doesn't sell products? Like, I don't even understand it anymore.
It's the most dirty thing you've ever said. Do we have time for one more?
We have time for one more.
Okay, one more. Okay, so we started this by talking about Sidekick. Let's end with it too. I think this is really important for our dev ecosystem, for our developer partners out there. For the first time, we're actually inviting app developers to build into Sidekick with Sidekick app extensions. It's becoming, as Toby said, a primary way that our merchants are interacting with their store, with their businesses, and soon that'll extend to apps. What is Sidekick app extensions?
This is something that, again, a lot of our partners have asked us about. Probably this and catalog were like the two big topics at additions.dev, something we do mid-year. How, as merchants start to engage with Sidekick, how can apps lend their functionality to Sidekick? Merchants are going to want this because merchants rely on a lot of apps for their business. And so Sidekick without apps is Sidekick without an arm for their business. And so we want to fill that gap. And for partners, this is a way for you to now expose your app's functionality to Sidekick so that it's more useful for merchants. And this editions, we're doing a developer preview of how we basically want the API to look for when Sidekick can actually ingest these essentially like data flows into apps, what we call intents, where you can actually pop something up in admin and then a merchant can actually say, okay, yes, that is the email I would like from that app. So this is a really important update where Sidekick is now truly expanding, not just from its sidebox into all of Shopify. It's going to now expand into your whole constellation of software that you use to run your business, which I think is very important next step for us.
Cool.
Yeah, amazing.
Amazing. Really, really cool.
Oh,
okay, that's a lot. We talked about a lot. We talked about AI, we talked about agentic commerce. There's actually something, I think, just before maybe we all say goodbye here, that's, I think, even more remarkable that I just want to close out with. We shipped more than 200 new features in this edition.
Yeah.
I mean, we barely scratched the surface on it on this
I think
call
we talked
here.
about like 10.
I mean, that's right. We barely scratched the surface. And here's the crazy part. We do this twice a year. So I just want to say, like, to be operating at this level and this velocity, I think is an absolutely insane achievement. And I just want to take a minute to say thank you to everyone. I know we're watching. I know everyone who works at Shopify is watching this right now. Just want to say thank you to our incredible team who are powering this. It is unequivocal that you are building the future, and your dedication is next level. So just want to say thank you to all of you that helped make this edition what it is.
Incredible. Awesome job, team. Like, a lot of you worked super hard, and I hope our customers who are watching this are excited. We've got you. We are building. We have a very clear idea for how the next how the rest of the decade here is going to unfold from our perspective. Our role here is to keep everyone super cutting edge, and our role is to help people launch changes with high conviction and either simulation or data that it is a good change. Our job is to take all the amazing people amazing products that you all have and put them together in such a way that they're easy and straightforward to consume from all the new emerging places that are creating sales. We're going to get you into all of those. It's really good for us and for everyone in the ecosystem, because while a lot of you are very big businesses, many of you have exciting things and are very small. And when we put all these things together, millions of lights of various sizes make a sun. It is the best products of the world are all sold on Shopify, and we can take those and talk with all the super busy platforms that are trying to invent the future, and make it easy for them to reason about all the great products, get them in there, and this is the role we will play, and we are in talks with everyone, and to do this, and it's all coming together in a quite wonderful way, and it's a super exciting time at Shopify. I hope it's a super exciting time to be on Shopify, and but I can't wait what you will do next for.
And wrap. Many
All right. Well,
lights
thanks
make
to
the
everyone for
sun.
joining us on this stream. If you want to check out the edition, go to shopify.com/editions/winter 2026. But you can see all the editions at the editions website. And as it is, as we say, this is a new world of commerce that is awaiting you, and the Renaissance is here. Thank you for joining us for the Renaissance edition. That was really fun.
That was awesome. Great work.
See you all.